My wife said, "You're supposed to provide, not complain." So I stopped providing. I had always believed providing for my family was my duty. I worked long hours, pushed myself beyond exhaustion, and sacrificed my own desires to ensure my wife had everything she needed. I never asked for much in return. Just a little appreciation, acknowledgement that my efforts mattered. It had been a grueling day at work. I trudged through the front door to find my wife on the couch, scrolling through her phone, barely glancing at me. The house was spotless. Dinner smelled delicious, but I was exhausted, not just physically, but mentally tired of carrying the entire burden alone. I sat down heavily beside her, rubbing my temples. "Today was rough," I muttered. Without looking up, she sighed. "You're supposed to provide, not complain." I froze. The words cut through me, sharper than any knife. For years, I had been killing myself to make sure she had everything, but in her eyes, I was nothing more than a machine. My exhaustion, my struggles, my sacrifices, they didn't matter. Something inside me snapped, not in an explosive way, but in a quiet, resolute shift. If I was just a provider, then what happened if I stopped providing? The next morning at breakfast, she mentioned an upcoming spa day with her friends, one of her regular indulgences that I had always funded without question. Instead of my usual, "Sure, take my card," I simply said, "I'm sure you'll figure something out." She blinked. "What do you mean?" I shrugged. "I've decided to reevaluate my spending. Time I focus more on savings and personal goals. It's just a spa day. We can afford it, maybe, but I'm making some changes." That was the moment the shift began. Over the following days, I gradually pulled back. I no longer picked up extra shifts. I stopped automatically covering every bill. When she asked about a weekend getaway, I responded, "I don't think that's in my budget right now." "Your budget? You've never talked like this before." I've been so focused on providing that I forgot to prioritize myself. That's changing. For the first time, I saw uncertainty flicker across her face. The structure she had taken for granted was beginning to shift. At first, she acted as if nothing had changed. She still booked her usual beauty appointments, still filled online shopping carts, but the cracks started to show when the credit card bills arrived, and I wasn't paying them. "The card was declined today," she said one evening, confused. I barely looked up from my book. "That's strange. Did you forget to pay it?" "No, I just didn't see the need to cover unnecessary expenses this month." "Unnecessary expenses?" I finally met her gaze. "The spa days, the designer handbags, the endless subscriptions, they're not my priority anymore." "Since when?" "Since I realized I was nothing more than a wallet to you." Her mouth opened, then closed. I could see the realization hit her. My support wasn't an infinite resource. It could be withdrawn just as easily as it had been given. The next few weeks were a slow unraveling. The luxuries she had taken for granted began to vanish. She had to start cooking instead of ordering takeout. She had to check price tags. The car she used for errands, suddenly she had to contribute to its maintenance. Then the argument started. "I don't understand why you're acting like this," she said one night. "You always handled everything before." "Because before, I thought I was appreciated. Now I know better." "So this is some kind of punishment?" "No, it's a correction." For the first time, she looked genuinely worried. She tried manipulation, sighing heavily when looking at shopping carts, talking about how stressful her days were. Then, bargaining. "I'll cut down on shopping if you start handling the bills again. I think it's good for us to both be involved in the finances. That way, we both understand the value of what we're spending. It's always been easier when you took care of it." "Easier for who?" I asked calmly. She had no response. One evening, as I sat reading, she finally snapped. "Why are you doing this? Why are you acting like we're enemies?" I set my book down. "I'm not your enemy. I just stopped playing the role you assigned me. All I ever wanted was for things to run smoothly." "No, you wanted things to run smoothly for you. You never considered what it was costing me." Her expression faltered. "I never asked you to suffer."